Shut up and sit down.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Big Dawg Brett. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the college football normal season, whatever that is. So do me a favor, take this moment. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Tons of you guys on that watch the videos. So thankful you guys are here. It takes 2 seconds to subscribe. So thanks so much. All right, so I wanted to make a video this morning. Normally, I don't make videos in the morning, but I felt like making one today. Got up, coffee was good, so let's do this. While we're sitting here waiting for me to get my notes ready to go, you can take this moment and become a member and support the channel if you like. Very much appreciated. Are working on some merch. Believe it or not, we are still working on that. Want to make sure we get the logo and everything right for you guys before we put that out. So much appreciated for you guys who have asked for the merch. We will get the merch. Okay. First things first, let's clear it up. I made a bad call during the Ohio State Clemson game. Got speared Justin Fields basically right in the hip. Looked like it was ribs. When I initially watched the video, it did to me look like he kind of hit him off to the side. After going back and rewatching the video, I mean, it's dead on helmet. It was a dirty. It was called by a lot of Ohio State fans as a dirty hit, and I can see why they would say that. This guy has also been ejected for something very similar before. But was that intentional? I don't know. That whole thing happened so fast. I don't necessarily know that he meant to hit him with the helmet. He may have been trying to get his shoulder involved. I don't know. But was it targeting? Yes, it was targeting. So please, Ohio State fans, stop. I get it. And I know that there's going to be some of you that still say, "Oh, it was targeting." How was it textbook targeting? Okay, yes, it is. But we're 5 days late, and I was reacting in the moment. So yeah, I got it. I got it wrong. I'm not perfect. Sorry. Let's move on. Next favorite topic. Florida, the sorry Gators. Dan Mullen apparently has interviewed with the Falcons, and he is also rumored to be interviewing or has interviewed with the Jets for the head coach job. As a matter of fact, he has the second highest odds of getting that job. If he was to go to the Falcons, a lot of people in Georgia would be very upset with that decision. I can assure you there's a lot of Falcon fans that do not want him as the head coach in Atlanta. So we'll see what happens with that. All of this comes after Dan Mullen said prior to the SEC championship game that he's never played in the NFL, not even as an assistant coach, and he wants to stay at Florida a long, long time. But yet he goes and interviews for a couple of jobs in the NFL. This reminds me of Chip Kelly back whenever he told the people at Oregon, the fans at Oregon, that he was going to stick around at Oregon, and then he went and got a job in the NFL. I'm not saying the guy shouldn't take the job. I'm just saying maybe you should just call it like it is, Dan. So if Dan ends up leaving Florida, this is probably going to do a heck of a job on their recruiting. They're probably going to have a lot of guys leave. We'll see what the fallout is from that. If he does leave, we'll just kind of see how it goes. Speaking of coaching changes, Tom Herman out at Texas. I'm sure this is old news by this point to you. Tom Herman was kind of, there was a tug of war between LSU and Texas as to who was going to get him. Texas ended up winning that fight. Now he's fired. They had a bad season, apparently below Texas' standards. Steve Sarkisian is going to be taking that job, one of the coaches from Alabama, and it's rumored that he's going to take some other coaches with him. So let's see what happens with that. That's a pretty interesting hire. Texas has had 4 head coaches since Mac Brown left in 2009, and they have also had no title. And a lot of Texas fans are pretty upset. Texas, by the way, has their own network, the Texas Longhorn Network, and there's a lot of fans that are saying they will not re-up for that because there's no point. They're pretty upset. By the way, the buyout for before you start feeling bad for Mr. Tom Herman, his buyout was $15 million. You may want to go hang out with some of the fans over there at Auburn. They're feeling you guys' pain. Man, I wish I could get fired from a job. Somebody paid me $15 million. I am going to do a bowl game review. I was going to do it game by game. and I may yet still do that. But one of the things I do want to cover real quick is there SEC bias and why? Keep in mind that no SEC team played any SEC teams in a bowl game. None. The SEC set a record for the most top 25 bowl game wins, meaning that their opponents were ranked in the top 25. Said it this year. The SEC played in 8 bowl games, 6-2, with the 2 losses being Florida and Auburn. I'm okay with that. Florida, by the way, ends their season 8-4. They now have they now have just as many wins as UGA, but twice as many losses. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, Florida fan. Big 12 won all of their games, but they only played in 5. The Big 10 went 3-1, and the Pac-12 went 0-2. They only managed to get 2 teams in and lost both games. So, is there SEC biased? Maybe, but it seems like the SEC is still kicking butt and taking names. Okay. So recently we did a live stream for the Heisman Trophy winner show, and the winner ended up being Devontae Smith, the Slim Reaper. I don't even know why this was a conversation that had to be had. If Devontae Smith didn't win this, I don't know what to have said about the process. I'm glad a quarterback didn't win it. I think it says a lot that a wide receiver can go up against 3 quarterbacks the caliber that he was going up against and still win by a substantial amount. Hats off to Devontae Smith. Absolutely incredible. Wonderful player. So glad that he is the recipient. Glad to see somebody besides a quarterback win it as well. You would think that Devontae Smith would go pro. Apparently not. Apparently he's going to come back and play basketball for Alabama. Says his true passion is basketball. So he's going to play. It's like, all right then. Go ahead, young man. Hats off to you, sir. I admire the tenacity of wanting to continue to play at the college level. That's incredible. On that front, also, please note that apparently Mr. Waddle has returned to practice and may play in the national championship game. If Waddle steps on that field, it's going to be scary for anybody out there. He is absolutely a beast. When he steps out there, he is almost always at least the second best player on the field, if not the best. So, absolutely incredible. By the time that you factor in, you got Devontae Smith, you got Waddle, you got Mechie, and probably a few other guys for Alabama that I can't name. This is probably, it's murderer's row for wide receivers. It's incredible. But so Ohio State, you're gonna have your hands full, sir. I'm just telling you. You got a Heisman Trophy winner on the offense and probably a second or third place runner up in Mac Jones as the quarterback. I don't think Ohio State even had one player up there. So no, matter of fact, I know they didn't. All right, change the subject here. UGA officially names Josh Brooks as the new AD. He was the interim AD. Takes over. Hats off to Greg McGarity. Thank you so much for your years of service as the athletic director to UGA, sir. Much appreciated. Apparently, Greg McGarity is moving on to bigger and better things. Not a whole lot to be said for that. It's, for what I can see, pretty much going to be business as usual for UGA. All right, so there's been lots of talk about the postponement of the national championship game. Commissioner is pushing for regular play. There's people on message boards saying that Ohio State is doing this to try to give Justin Fields time to heal up. I don't think that's the case. Justin Fields looked fine. There's been no reports of any type of injury that I can find for Justin Fields. I think he's going to be just fine. I think we're going to have the national championship game on time. And I think, we'll get into what I think about the national championship game in another video that deserves a video of its own. Also, there have been numerous players at this point that have declared for the draft. UGA has had numerous players declare for the draft after the bowl game. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Just saying. No reason to skip out on a bowl game if you've got other players that will play the bowl game and then they declare for the draft. How does that happen? I don't know. Played for your team. Team got you to a point where you can get into the NFL. In my opinion, those players out there on the field, they get additional respect for being out there. I will make a separate video on the players that we are losing, the players that are coming back next year. I'm going to do that for all of the top teams. So they'll stand by for that video. I'm going to go ahead and point out some of the obvious. We're going to have JT Daniels going to come back. James Cook comes back. George Pickens comes back. I think Kendall Milton's going to be back. There's a ton of elite talent that's coming back, and there's a ton of elite talent that is leaving. So we'll see what happens with all of that. I'm going to do a top, probably a top 5 or top 10. I'll probably just do a top 5. We'll see how it pans out. Depending on how many likes and views we get, if somebody has a video they want me to do on their team, I'll do a video on their team. But in the off season here, obviously content kind of slows down. We don't have as many games. That's why I'm trying to push to get to 4,000 subscribers, and I never thought I would say that. Try to get to 4,000 subscribers before the season ends. So if you guys could help me out, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. About 80% of my viewers aren't actually subscribed to the channel. So takes a minute, just subscribe to the channel. It helps me, it helps you. And there's also some people out there saying they're not getting the notifications. I don't know if you need to take the bell, unclick the bell, re-click the bell, clear your browser history, whatever you got to do. Probably should do that anyway. Makes your phone run faster, your Apple device. I don't know about those. So, but yeah, guys, tons of content coming up. We're going to be doing a live show tonight. The live show is going to, just be our normal call-in show. We're going to talk about what's coming up and some of the other topics kind of floating around college football. We're also going to be talking about the national championship game and what we think there. So that's what it is. You guys, do me a favor. You know what to do. It's down there. So you guys have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.